The rumors had been around for years. Every student at Westbridge High had heard them, the legend of Locker 13. It was always locked, never assigned to any student, and no one had ever seen it opened. Some said it belonged to a student who went missing decades ago. Others claimed that if you knocked on the locker at exactly midnight, you'd hear something knocking back. But no one had ever dared to test it, at least not until Mark. The dare Mark was the school skeptic. Ghosts? Fake? Curses? Nonsense. So when his friends dared him to knock on Locker 13, he laughed. Fine, midnight. I'll prove there's nothing to be scared of. His friends waited outside the school fence as he sneaked in. The hallway was dead silent, except for the hum of the flickering fluorescent lights. As he walked past the darkened classrooms, he felt a strange chill creeping up his spine. Finally, he stood in front of the infamous locker. The number 13 was barely visible beneath layers of rust and grime. He took a deep breath and knocked 3 times. At first, nothing happened. Mark turned to leave, smirking. Then, knock, 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 he froze, his blood turned ice cold. It had answered. The warning Mark's breath came in short gasps as he slowly turned back to the locker. It was still locked, still untouched. Then, click. The lock unlatched by itself. Mark's hands trembled, but something inside him, a mix of fear and curiosity, forced him to pull the locker open. Inside there was only darkness, and then he saw it. A withered, skeletal hand reached out. Mark stumbled backward, his scream caught in his throat. The hand was followed by a face, a hollow-eyed, grinning thing with stretched, rotting skin. Before Mark could run, the creature spoke. "You should not have knocked." The door slammed shut. At the disappearance. The next morning, Mark's friends waited outside the school, expecting to see him brag about how the dare was pointless. But Mark never showed up. Panicked, they ran inside and found Locker 13 standing slightly ajar. Inside, there was no sign of Mark, only his phone lying at the bottom. The screen was still recording. They pressed play. A single message played back in a whispering, distorted voice. "One knock, one soul." That was the last anyone ever heard of Mark. To this day, students say that if you walk past Locker 13 at night, you can still hear his desperate knocks from the other side. But no one dares to answer.